Hi, everybody. Marv Albert, Matt Dukas, and Ahmad Rashad, and we are set for the opening tip as the final piece of our NBC triple header. The officials: Ed T. Rush, Bob Delaney, Ron Garrison, Alonzo Mourning, and Will Perdue will go on the tip. In game one here Friday night, the Bulls winning in overtime, propelled by another remarkable performance by Michael Jordan with 48 points in his 47 minutes of play. Jordan to the crossover. Here's Scottie Pippen, who was not able to get into it the other night because of early foul trouble.
Well, from talking to everybody, including Michael Jordan, he's saying that don't look for another 48-point performance from him. He's going to try to get more people involved. He knows that's how the Chicago Bulls can be an effective team.
They go to the double on Mourning. David Wingate was challenged to take that shot, and it's rebounded by Mourning. The whistle away from the ball, the call made by Ed T. Rush, and it's on Will Perdue as we take a look at the starting lineups for the Bulls. Pippen, Kukoc, Perdue up front, Armstrong and Jordan at the guards, Johnson, Wingate, Mourning, Bogues, and Hawkins. And Wingate with it, being watched by Pippen. There's Hersey Hawkins, who's bothered by a sore knee, but said he's all right. Here's Bogues also trying to come back from an injury hit last couple of weeks. Muggsy Bogues bothered by a deep bone bruise in his left leg.
An aggressive move there by Muggsy, who was left open time and time again coming down the stretch of the fourth quarter and just couldn't deliver, in particular that runner where he had the game on the line.
Muggsy had 4 of the Hornets' last 8 shots and missed all 4. Hawkins for 3. Mourning on the board. He lost the grip. The save by Perdue, but kept alive by Wingate.
Time of possession at this end of the floor. It's unbelievable.
Hawkins. Johnson handling it for the first time. Coming off a 6 for 18 in game number 1. Forced the shot.
And this is the player on the Hornets the Bulls are most concerned about. They want to keep him from getting off.
Now the Bulls regrouping.
Yes.
So the Bulls off to a 4-0 start.
Very quick lightning-type move by Michael Jordan before any kind of double team could come. So he's still going to look to assert himself offensively.
And we'll see how Alan Briscoe plays it. He went with the big lineup, which gave the Bulls all kinds of trouble in game 1. Larry Johnson over the handle to Moores. And a delay of game call against Charlotte.
And keep in mind, the Charlotte Hornets are the worst offensive rebounding team in the league over the regular season, already with 3 offensive rebounds here this evening. Make that 5 offensive rebounds, and they had 18 in game 1.
Kukoc leading Pippen. Mourning with the rebound. Wingate running the floor. Wingate trying to go all the way.
Well, Michael Jordan in the triangle offense in the post, very effective. They started that in that Cleveland game a few weeks ago, where that will create opportunities for other people and keep Michael from shooting early perimeter jump shots. That time he just made the quick drop-step turn on Hersey Hawkins. At the other end, Hersey Hawkins is going to look to assert himself more offensively to keep Michael Jordan busy. Larry Johnson called for an offensive foul to give the ball back to Chicago. Pippen through the foul, yes, and it counts. Beautiful ball fake by Pippen. He had Mourning in the air, and now Pippen will go to the line. Well, I say they want to go at Larry Johnson at both ends of the floor. They won't mind this, though, getting this fella in foul trouble. Alonzo Mourning, who had an outstanding game in game 1 with 7 blocked shots and very active around the basket and very effective inside. The problem, however, was Alonzo started to drift and got a little happy with the 3-point shot. Yes, that's the downside. He actually apologized for it after the game. Hawkins off the good setup from Bogues. Shot selection is the question with the Charlotte Hornets big men. Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson. Michael Jordan not able to hit, but Tony Kukoc keeping it alive. Michael Jordan returning to his roots here today. He's just 130 miles from the campus at Chapel Hill. Kukoc splitting through, and he drew the foul. Well, Phil Jackson not going to be happy with after a free throw situation. Muggsy Bogues going coast to coast as B.J. Armstrong couldn't keep him in front of him. And once Muggsy gets into the lane, it's too hard to find. Even though he's going to be in the tall trees there, he's so low to the ground, he can find the openings, and he made a nice feed to Hersey Hawkins.
Foul on Wingate, putting Kukoc at the line. Tony Kukoc, a native of Croatia, seems to have settled down. Wasn't playing his usual game when Michael Jordan first made his return, but they have blended in recent games. 3 minutes have gone by in this first quarter. The Bulls with a 9-4 lead. Johnson posting up. Here's Larry Johnson swinging in.
Well, Scottie Pippen knew Kukoc was in trouble. He started coming, but once Larry was in that twirling type of situation, nobody could catch up with him, just overpowering Kukoc, Pippen, and Purdue inside.
Jordan throwing the double team. Purdue with the recovery. Johnson on the steal. Johnson for Bogues. Hawkins for 3.
That's what I mean about Muggsy Bogues being so low to the ground, you don't know if there. Will Purdue made the mistake of starting to put the ball down, and Muggsy picked him clean.
The game tied at 9. 7 offensive rebounds by the Hornets. Here's Armstrong, and the Bulls lead 11-9. This is a Charlotte team that went 50-32 during the regular season. Their first ever 50 victory campaign. They finished behind Indiana in the Central Division. Bulls tied the game at 11. And here at home, Charlotte with the 7th best record of the NBA at 29-12. Nice pass from Jordan. Broken up by Wingate. Took it out of the hands of Kukoc. Hawkins had it batted away by Jordan.
This is the way Muggsy Bogues wants to play. He wants his team to get out and run at every opportunity. The other night in the fourth quarter, Muggsy was left with these kind of shots time and time again. Couldn't knock them down when it would have meant a victory in game 1. This had to make him feel very good.
Timeout called with 5 minutes gone by in the first quarter.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Miller Lite Ice. Ice brewed for the taste that goes all out when you're out. The night is young. By Castrol GTX, engineered for greater protection against breakdown. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher, who reminds you that sweat loves company. Life's a sport. Drink it up.
Well, guards are aware of Muggsy Bogues being around because he's so dangerous, but big people don't see him, don't feel him, and that's when he can pick you clean and get into the teeth of the defense and then kick out for open shots like that.
Fast start here in the early going with 5 minutes gone by of the Hornets, and the Bulls tied at 11. Charlotte doing it off the offensive board. 7 offensive rebounds the first 5 minutes. David Wingate going too strong and rebounded by Will Purdue. Scottie Pippen being played by David Wingate. Tony Kukoc posting Larry Johnson. And here's B.J. Armstrong trying the 3. Kukoc with the rebound. Michael Jordan. Pippen with the save, and he called for time. Scottie Pippen successfully taking the 22nd timeout.
Well, after a second chance opportunity by the Bulls, Michael Jordan with a quick shot with 20 seconds on the shot clock, but Scottie Pippen chasing down that loose offensive rebound to hang in the air just long enough to let the referee know he wanted to stop it.
Let's check in with Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad?
All right, Marv, as you mentioned earlier, Muggsy Bogues had injured his left knee as a bone bruise in the back of his left knee about 3 weeks ago. He told me that the first time he ran was last Thursday. And on Friday night in Game 1, that it really affected his rhythm. He couldn't get his legs up under his shot, and it really got worse as the game wore on. The knee got progressively worse, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as the game goes. Mark?
Arnemont and Muggsy Bogues matched up defensively against B.J. Armstrong. Hand-checking foul on Hersey Hawkins. Several of the Charlotte Hornets complaining after game one that Michael was getting the calls the other night.
And this is one of the minor adjustments that the Charlotte Hornets want to make. They want to get up into Michael and get closer to him, force him to the baseline, which is unusual. Most teams want to go to make him go to the middle where they get help. And Hersey Hawkins with the touch foul.
Here's Pippen. Rebound Jordan. Bulls 13, Hornets 11.
It's been an offensive rebounding frenzy for both teams. Charlotte already with 7 of them now. Chicago with 4.
Michael 2 of 4. He has 4 points. Just under 6 minutes left in this first quarter. Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson going down low effectively.
Well, good spacing by the Hornets, and Pippen just a little bit tentative there, not coming quick enough to help Tony Kukoc. Tony can't handle Larry inside.
Oh, Will Perdue flying for the stop.
Good cut by Will Perdue off the ball as Alonzo Mourning was sensing that Michael was going to get into something, came over to double team, and nobody plugged the lane from behind.
First field goal for Perdue. Played only 16 minutes the other night, 0 for 4. Get the idea Michael Jordan is more comfortable with Perdue, but Wingate. And the game is tied at 15, although Phil Jackson went for a good portion of the game on Friday with Luke Longley.
Well, Michael Jordan not able to get too much going on the perimeter, starts wandering around the basket. Hersey Hawkins doesn't get a body on him and gets up for the offensive rebound, and then a perfect feed to Will Perdue, slicing in from the weak side. Nobody helping around the basket area for Charlotte.
Foul called on David Wingate. And now here's Kenny Gaddison, who was effective in game one, checking in for the first time, replacing David Wingate.
Well, Mark, Michael is used to Will Perdue because Will knows where to go in the triangle offense. Luke Longley is still learning it, still not comfortable with it.
Kukoc from Jordan. And the beautiful spin by Jordan out of the double team set that up.
And the defense all focusing on Michael, and that's when he can get his teammates involved. If they'll cut, if they'll move, if they'll find the open areas.
B.J. Armstrong did not like that call for the hand check.
All the defense focusing on Michael Jordan. He spins out of trouble, leaves his feet, but he's capable of doing it. And with the good vision, and Tony Kukoc, who has really improved in this area as the regular season was winding down, finding those openings and receiving from Michael Jordan.
Pippen stepping out for the steal. Pippen trying to dump it off. Bogues with the intercept. Muggsy running the floor. Sets it up for Hawkins for 3. And back come the Bulls. Here's Jordan. Here's Kukoc. Took it all the way. Michael Jordan soaring for the stuff. And the Bulls lead 19-15. Jordan looking for the steal. Hawkins for 3. Open shots for Hersey Hawkins. 4 minutes to go in this first quarter. Kukoc rejected by Hawkins. Whoa! Here's Bogues on a 3-on-2. Johnson and Hawkins. Exciting end-to-end basketball. The Bulls with a 19-17 lead, and Phil Jackson calling for time.
Well, this is the way that both of these teams' players want to play basketball. After turnovers, after rebounds, get out and run. Here they throw ahead to Michael Jordan. Everybody out of the way as Michael goes up and throws it down, and then Kukoc sent in for a fast break, and Hersey Hawkins coming out of nowhere. I don't think Tony Kukoc saw him coming. And then Muggsy Bogues, what a frightening feeling that is when that little butterfly running at you as they execute the fast break beautifully. Back at Charlotte, 3:44 left first quarter. Here's Ahmad.
All right, Marv, in that last timeout, the Chicago Bulls were very upset with Charlotte getting too many offensive rebounds. They want to try to limit the Hornets to one shot. And on the other end of the court, they figured that they haven't got into their offense yet, but they're doing okay because they're splitting the double teams. They say Charlotte is gambling with the double teams, but Chicago is splitting them and making baskets, and they haven't even got to their offense yet, so they feel fine about that. Marv?
Audemars Bulls have a 2-point lead, 19-17. Del Curry is on the floor for the first time for Charlotte. Here is Jordan. And a loose ball foul is called. It's against the Hornets. It's on Curry. Luke Longley replacing Will Perdue. The foul on Curry, putting the Hornets over the limit. There is Luke. He played a career-high 37 minutes. Game one on Friday. 6 of 12 from the field, 14 points. How about the Boston Celtics over the Orlando Magic to tie that series at 1? And in the game that preceded us, Phoenix defeated Portland 103-94. Charles Barkley with 25 points. And we will hear from him at halftime. The Prudential halftime report. AC Green, 20 points, 15 rebounds. Boston Celtics following up on that Cleveland Cavalier surprise victory over the New York Knicks yesterday at Madison Square Garden. Lonzo Mourning very quiet in his first one. His first field goal. The Bulls lead 21-19.
The initial part of that play, they ran Del Curry off 3 screens. They want to make Michael Jordan work at the defensive end as much as possible.
Jordan guarded by Curry. Shot clock at 6. And a hand check call. And again, the crowd reacts.
Well, this is one of the problems you have when you tell guys like Hersey Hawkins and Del Curry, we want you to get up on Michael. Be tougher with him. Get up in his chest. Make him be a driver. Well, he will be a driver. He can take it by you very quickly. And Alan Bristow thought it was a little bit soft on the hand check by Del Curry, but that's what the officials have been calling early in all of these first-round games.
Well, Michael Jordan in game number 1 went 11 of 11 from the line. Here's Tony Kukoc sitting down, replaced by Corey Blunt, the second-year man out of Cincinnati. Michael Jordan has always been at his best in the playoffs, averaging 35 points for his career in playoff competition and shooting better than 50%. He has 7 points, 3 assists here in the first quarter. The Bulls lead by 3. Curry eluding Jordan. And apparently that went over the glass, so the ball awarded to the Bulls.
Once again, 3 baseline screens for Del Curry, making Michael bump into them all the way, hoping they will tire him out. And once Del Curry catches it, he has the quickest release of any player in the NBA.
Chicago Bulls went 47-35 in the regular season, then came on strong following the return of Jordan. They were 26-29 at one point and fading. Block set up by Jordan, but he's called for a travel. The Bulls finished the season in grand style, winning 12 of their last 14. And they went 13-4 once Michael Jordan returned.
You're noticing Michael looking a little bit tired every time he bends over and grabs the short, and we saw that the other night. Really, in the third quarter, I thought he was out of gas at that point. Obviously, he got his second win later in the ballgame and really turned it on in overtime. But Michael looks a little bit tired right now, and I think the effectiveness of Del working him is taking a little bit of a toll right now.
That last foul called on Pippen, reaching in. Gaddison, guarded by Pippen. Curry looking for the shot. Mourning had a look at a three-pointer, but passed on it. Here's Bogues. And the rebound is swept out of bounds. Last touched by the Bulls. So Bogues now 1 of 4 from the field. Over the last 16 games entering the playoffs, Chicago, along with San Antonio, the 2 hottest teams in the league. You see Charlotte dropped off, record of 9-7. They had some injuries the last couple of weeks. Curry, rebound, Gaddison, rejected and fouled.
Well, one of the reasons why the Bulls gave up so many offensive rebounds in the first game is because Scottie Pippen's minutes were limited to just 27 with all the foul problems. He is the best rebounder on the Chicago Bulls. He's in there right now, but Kenny Gaddison and Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning really working hard inside. And this is what the problem I think the Bulls are going to have throughout this series, and if they move on to the next series, not being able to control the defensive board. They just do not have the bulk, the people that they used to have before, Horace Grant, Scott Williams, Bill Cartwright. They miss those players sorely.
Now Bill Weddington replacing Corey Blunt. A cameo for Corey Blunt. Kenny Gaddison, who was at the free throw line, played an important role the other night. 9.7 rebounds. He was a guy who has made a miraculous and speedy recovery from neck surgery. It was thought that his career was over.
Amazing comeback. He worked very, very hard. Never really gave up, but I think he amazed everybody in basketball with the quick recovery that he has made. Interesting lineup for the Charlotte Hornets right now with Muggsy Bogues getting a rest. In effect, Larry Johnson will handle the ball almost as a point forward with Del Curry and Darren Hancock on the wings.
Darren Hancock checking in a moment ago. That foul was called on Gaddison. And with the Hornets over the limit, Pippen to the line. Darren Hancock, a rookie from Kansas who ended up as a starter the last week and a half. That because of the injury suffered by Scott Burrell, which is a major loss for Alan Bristow and the Hornets, out for the season with a partially torn Achilles tendon. Burrell has been playing extremely well, a candidate for most improved player. And Burrell went down, and Bristow did some experimenting. Now he's been going with David Wingate as a starter. Johnson could not find anyone, and rather than take a gamble on the inbounds, he took the timeout. It's a 20-second timeout.
Well, the Bulls and Phil Jackson taking advantage right away with Muggsy Bogues out, knowing that no true ball handler out on the floor for for Charlotte. The Bulls go into their full court press to see how they'll handle it. Wise move, and you saw right away how disorganized Charlotte was because they're not used to playing this way. They tried it a little bit in practice. Allen is gambling a bit, going with a big front line against the quicker Chicago Bulls, but this is something that he has to do right now, and so far he's been successful as far as the rebounding is concerned.
And he's staying with Johnson as the ball handler because he does not have the confidence that Michael Adams, who has had an injury-hit year and is still having difficulties. He had a calf injury, so he's not going with Adams, and is not going with the other guard, Rick Sutton, who's bothered by a stiff neck, but is rest and is available. Instead, Larry Johnson at 6'7", 250 pounds, handling the ball against Scottie Pippen, who is not the man you want to handle the ball against. Pippen nearly stole it. Johnson threw it away. Jordan goes down, 1-2, and a foul on Gaddison. He was called for a trip.
Well, a minor adventure for Larry Johnson in just getting the ball over midcourt and then the sigh of relief, and then he relaxed a little bit, and that's when a clever veteran like Scottie Pippen will still come after you, knocks the ball loose, and right away the Charlotte Hornets are out of sync, and Muggsy Bogues will get ready to check back in as Michael Jordan was tripped from behind by Kenny Gaddison.
Michael Jordan now 2 of 3 from the line. And here comes Muggsy. A very difficult situation for the Hornets because Muggsy is still hurting. And Alan Bristow is forced to play him the additional minutes unless he takes a shot with Michael Adams.
Well, he took the shot with Larry Johnson handling the ball. Didn't like what he saw on 2 occasions against Muggsy back in there. And Muggsy kind of wore down in that third quarter. See the other bench in game 1, very sore with that bone bruise in the back of his knee.
Jordan now 3 of 7. Bogues for Hancock. The Bulls by 1 with 1 minute left in this first quarter. Muggsy Bogues with 5 assists. The shooter by Hancock. 2 on the road. Bogues for Hancock. Rebounded by Jordan. And here comes Armstrong. Curry with a reach-in foul. So Del Curry, or is it Muggsy Bogues? Apparently Bogues is hit with the call. That's his first.
Well, Muggsy has been sharp in fast break opportunities in the first game and a quarter as he finds Darren Hancock flying in on the right wing, and that's what he does best. Run the floor and finish there. Muggsy trying to reach in. prevent the play made by B.J. Armstrong. Bugsy not happy with it. Thought he got all ball. And of course, this crowd of over 23,000 agrees with Muggsy Bogues.
Armstrong, an 88% free throw shooter. One of the better foul shooters in the league. Chicago, the 9 of 12 at the line. Charlotte has gone to the line only twice. Michael sitting down, 8 points, 3 of 7 from the field. Only 2 of 4 at the line. 3 assists for Jordan. But Pete Myers has come on for Michael Jordan. Bulls 26 and the Hornets 23. Down to 35 seconds to go in this opening quarter. And the foul called on the ball. It is on Longley.
Well, before Michael retired a year ago, you would never see in the body of a game either Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen both out of the floor at the same time. This is unusual right now. Michael, Scottie, and Tony Kukoc all sitting on the Chicago bench right now. You got to wonder where they're going to get their ball handling and where they're going to get their offense. Kukoc ready to check back in.
2-point Chicago lead. And Kukoc replaces Longley. So it is Kukoc, Bushler, and Wennington up front with Myers and Armstrong at the guard. 32 seconds remaining in this first quarter. As the 5th seed, the Chicago Bulls won't have the home court advantage in any series of the playoffs. So they have to be an exceptional road team to overcome the home court disadvantage in 4 straight playoff series. A difficult task. They certainly began on the right note with the overtime win here on Friday.
Well, you'll remember the Chicago Bulls did that 2 years ago. They did not have the home court advantage against New York or against Phoenix.
Little pressure on the ball. 1-point lead for Chicago. Shot clock at 7. Wennington. Bill Wennington with his first field goal. And Chicago leads 28-25. Final seconds of the quarter. After 1 at the high. The Bulls lead by 3. Scottie Pippen with 8 points, equaling the foul-plagued performance in Game 1 on Friday night. Pippen 2 of 4 from the field, 4 of 5 from the line. Good shooting first quarter by the Bulls, hitting 9 of 17. We'll be back right after these words.
This is the NBA on NBC.
Well, following Game 1, several Hornet players expressed their displeasure about all the calls they felt going the way of number 45, Michael Jordan. We heard the crowd reaction here in the first quarter, and yesterday we talked about that with Alonzo Mourning of the Hornets.
It was obvious, I mean, even to people that didn't even understand basketball, that a lot of the favoritism was shown to Michael in that game, you know, and I mean, hey, he's the marquee player. People wanted to see him, you know, but I really feel that, you know, when you have, you know, the referees calling a lot of calls that are pretty much in his favor, you're automatically at a disadvantage, you know, to a certain extent. You know, I'm not pointing a finger at all, you know, because we still had, regardless of what the officials were calling, we still had plenty of opportunities to win that ball game.
Plenty good offensive players should take advantage of the way the games are being officiated this year, especially early in the playoffs. They're going to call hand checking, and Michael just happens to be maybe the best offensive player. So you got to understand what's going on out there. Granted, some of these have been touch fouls, but that's the way the game is going to be called, at least in the early going.
It's also a common complaint after a club loses. Don't you feel, Matt? That's usually the case. Hancock soaring to put it home. The Bulls 28 and the Hornets 27 as we start the second quarter. Darren Hancock, a rookie from Kansas, getting the crowd going. And for Charlotte, it's 9th offensive rebound. Bushler. Nice pass. Weddington. Offensive foul as Weddington try to make the move on Gaddison.
Well, Darren Hancock has the live body and the fresh legs. Timed that beautifully, and you may wonder why that was not a technical foul for hanging on the rim. The officials ruled that he was in a little bit of danger there with some bodies under him, but perfect timing by Darren Hancock to finish off that play.
Matt, we were speculating that Alan Bristow would go to Michael Adams, and he has here at the start of the second quarter, though Adams physically is still not right. Been hurt good portion of the year. That will count, and the foul. Del Curry getting the roll, and he'll go to the line.
Well, Del Curry, known for his perimeter shooting and the quick release. You don't expect him to put the ball on the floor and drive. That's why you want to get up in his chest and force him to do that. That's exactly what B.J. Armstrong did. He just did not get the help from his teammates as Alan Bristow is looking for field goals anywhere he can get them. Ahmad Rashad was telling us before the game, he talked with Michael Adams, and Michael said, only in an emergency situation will I go out there, and I can think Alan feels that right now. He's got to get a breather for Muggsy Bogues, but I don't expect Adams to play that long.
Weddington on the foul, leading to the three-point play by Curry. Adams still recovering from a calf injury. Played only 29 games during the regular season. Did not play at all in game one. He is matched with Steve Kerr just came on. Curry tried to steal, but stepped out of bounds. All right, let's check in with Ahmad.
All right, Marv, during that the quarter break, I talked to Coach Johnny Bach. He said what they wanted to do in the first quarter was they tried to rest LJ and Muggsy Bogues, but they had trouble getting the ball up the court, so they had to bring Muggsy back in. He said they're satisfied where they are right now. They didn't want Chicago to have a high-scoring first quarter. They wanted to keep them around 25 points, and that's where they had him. He said the strategy going into the second quarter was they wanted to work the ball inside. Marv?
All right, about Johnny Bach, of course, longtime assistant for the Chicago Bulls. Michael Jordan with a whip pass that was deflected out of bounds last time by Charlotte. Johnny Bach ran into Michael Jordan the other day, and Michael said, nice to see you. Johnny said, not so nice to see you.
he knows the damage that Michael can do here.
Johnny Bach so instrumental in the defensive success over the years on the part of the Chicago Bulls. Kerr coming up short. Curry pumps it down to Adams. Oh, he just can't beat Scottie Pippen.
Well, that's how Adams can help the Hornets right now. He just released on that Kerr jump shot, and Scottie Pippen made a tough effort, but just couldn't get there.
7-0 run by Charlotte here in the second quarter. Kukoc. And a loose ball foul called on Pippen. That's his second foul.
Well, Steve Kerr taking that jump shot, his responsibility is not to worry about the man releasing. It's got to be somebody else. In this case, it was Pippen, and the pass was just too good on line. Scottie gave the effort to get up in the air, but Adams enough in those legs to get down there.
Charlotte with a 4-point lead. Curry looking for the shot. Johnson spinning his way. Johnson with a spectacular move. Larry Johnson, who at times will go into the jump shooting mood, is trying to do it from down low, and he's been successful here in the first half.
He's been staying tight to the lane and initiating the contact. That makes him tough to deal with inside.
34-30. Charlotte by 4. Hornets with Adams and Curry in the backcourt. Up front they have Johnson with Hancock and Robert Parody, who is spelling Alonzo Mourning. Here is Johnson. Rebounded by Longley.
Once again, Larry initiated the contact, but just flipped that ball up there. He has still lost some of that explosiveness in his legs, but he's using his big body very well.
Well, the Bulls have a hot touch in the first quarter. Not so here in the second. Curry with the three. Charlotte has opened up a 7-point lead.
And Michael Adams has paid dividends. Already gave him a field goal, and then a perfect pass in the fast break situation to Del Curry.
Jordan. Yes. Nice move off the fake by Michael Jordan, being played by the 6'7" Darren Hancock. Jordan has 10 points.
And those are the kinds of field goals that Michael was hitting in game one. That's that quick dribble up in the air before the defender can do anything at all about challenging it.
3-second violation.
Well, Larry Johnson has been working inside. The Bulls know that Tony Kukoc can handle him inside, so they will come and double team every time. But they're coming too slow, and Larry Johnson's be able to split. And there, the pass by Michael Adams as Curry stays wide. They can't get to him in time.
Two games Saturday, 3 more on Sunday. The NBA playoffs next weekend. The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By the NASDAQ stock market, the stock market for the next 100 years. And by GMC Truck, the strength of experience.
Back at the Coliseum in Charlotte, Marv Albert with Matt Dukas and Ahmad Rashad, better than 23,000 on hand. The 278th consecutive sellout here in Charlotte. And a foul is called. It's on Hancock. He has the assignment on Michael Jordan, has several inches on Jordan. So Alan Bristow giving it a shot with Hancock, who played only 1 minute in Game 1 on Friday.
He looks sharp. He looks confident out there. And a tough task, of course, guarding Michael Jordan. I'm sure Johnny Bach warned his team that coming out of that timeout, something for Michael.
Jordan thought he saw Kukoc cutting. And it will be Charlotte taking over.
And Michael just with a couple of calm words for Tony there, I think instructing him to keep coming, kind of stopped and fooled Michael by doing that.
The Hornets with a 37-32 lead. Larry Johnson has not been looking for the outside shot, and he drew the foul. Foul on Jordan. That's his first.
The crowd feels that Michael has been getting the benefit of a lot of little touch fouls, and now happy to see one called on him. You really have to like the aggressiveness of Larry Johnson when he is getting the ball deep in the post, and he is staying in there. I think it's something that the Charlotte coaching staff talked to both Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson about. You know, there are going to be times when you have to drift out there when the double teams are effective, but in the body of the game and when we have mismatches, stay in there and power to the basket.
Larry Johnson making it back from a very difficult injury mid-season. Last year missed 31 games due to a herniated disc in his lower back, and last season was reduced to taking those long jump shots. 38-32, the Hornets with the lead. Jordan finding Kukoc. So Michael with assist number 5, and it's a full-point Hornet lead.
And that time Kukoc showed up just in time as Mike was hanging in the air.
Hancock. Kept alive by Parrish. Adams for 3. And rebounded by Longley. Here comes Kukoc, 3-on-2. Kerr with the pull-up. Steve Kerr with his first field goal. The Hornets 38, the Bulls 36.
It's amazing. Tony Kukoc at 6'11", excellent ball handler in the middle of the floor. Most of the time makes good decisions on those fast breaks.
Larry Johnson drawing a crowd and the foul.
Well, Michael Jordan sent baseline, which is very dangerous. He gets into his spin mode, gets into the air. Everybody coming to help out, and they find Kukoc.
And it was Kukoc called for that foul against Johnson. One difference that we've noticed in the second go-round of Michael Jordan in his return, Michael has been seen in more of an instructional role, a coach on the floor. We talked about that with him prior to today's game.
I understand what Phil is trying to implement in terms of the system in the triangle and the understanding of that, especially in the playoffs. I'm trying to relate that to on the basketball court with Luke and with the guys I haven't played with. Tony being the most, because he has so much talent and he's such an integral part to our success that if he can understand it and be such a threat offensively, it takes the pressure off of Scotty and myself tremendously.
Reading between the lines, Michael is saying, yes, we're running the triangle offense, but there's going to be times I'm going to break it off and play basketball. Be ready to react to me.
Parrish was hoping to save it, but could not, and stepped out of bounds.
the follow-up on that. When you have creative players like Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Tony Kukoc, you want to take advantage of that creativity and just don't get locked into a structured offense, because the defense will make you do some other things, react to it, and play basketball.
6:20 left in the first half. The Bulls with the ball. They're trailing Charlotte by 2. Longley for Kerr. Jordan posting up now against Hawkins. Hawkins playing him well. Jordan to the fadeaway. Michael Jordan, 5 of 9, 12 points, and he's tied the game at 38.
Michael almost looked shocked that no double team came. He couldn't have said, heck with it, I'm going to turn and shoot.
So Hersey Hawkins is back defending Jordan. They double up on Mourning. Holmes with the shot. And Jordan able to get to it. 4 on 3 developing. Jordan with no one on him.
Yes. Once again, Michael keeps looking around. However, the ball is moving quickly. That time, Steve Kerr caught it right back inside to Michael, and the Charlotte Hornets defense very slow to react.
8-0 run by the Bulls. They have recaptured the lead. They're up by 2. Here's Hawkins from 3. Yes. Hersey Hawkins with 10. And the Hornets 41, the Bulls 40.
Well, Hersey was pretty much begging for the basketball after game 1, saying, hey, if I have to guard this guy and he's going to go wild on me offensively, get me some shots where I can make him work. The Hornets have done that here in the first half.
Here's Scottie Pippen. A 3 for Pippen. Open shot for Pippen off the pick. He has 11. It's the Bulls 43 and the Hornets 41. Bulls, a wild shot. So Muggsy able to hit with the runner. And it's tied at 43. Referee traveling violation. He was uncertain. He saw Kukoc. He was about to take the shot and then had changed his mind.
Well, the quick feed, and Michael looking around for some kind of double team coming. Nobody in any kind of position to come, so he just waited and waited till he got Hersey Hawkins a little bit off balance. And here, hanging in the air, back out to Steve Kerr, right back into Michael, and nobody covering here as Michael turns and gets a good look at the basket. Michael very upset with Longley on that last play for just not catching and taking it strong to the hoop.
Good help from Weddington after Mourning beat Longley off the dribble. And the Bulls are going with a combination of Longley and Weddington, along with Pippen up front. And now Myers in the backcourt, a rest for Jordan. Pippen for 3 again. Scottie Pippen with consecutive shots from downtown. He has 14 points. The Bulls by 3, and it's been a hot shooting first half for Chicago. They're just under 59% from the field. While Charlotte at 41. More shot opportunities, though, for the Hornets. Mourning. And he drew the foul.
Well, Scottie Pippen being covered right now by Larry Johnson, and that's a tough cover for Larry out on the floor. Scottie has hit a couple of long jumpers in a row, including this one, setting up, I'm sure, some drives to the basket as Michael Jordan. Very happy to see Michael starting to get the feel.
And the Bulls have hit 7 of the last 8 shots. Alonzo Mourning has had a very quiet first half. On the line by virtue of that foul by Weddington. For Weddington, his 3rd. 5 points for Mourning, only 1 of 5 from the field. Timeout is taken by Phil Jackson with 3:34 remaining in the first half. Game 2 of this best of 5 between the Bulls and the Hornets. Bulls by 2. We'll be right back.
In this first half, Charlotte has been featuring Larry Johnson inside. Thus, Alonzo Mourning not getting involved. Here he gets the kick-out pass, however, and Luke Longley commits the crime here of letting Alonzo Mourning go with his right hand from the perimeter, and Luke is hearing it from Michael Jordan on one side, Scottie on the other, as they are bookending him, giving him all kinds of instructions. Defensive end, offensive end, and Luke says, all right, I understand.
You know, you do a very fine Australian accent. Yes.
That seems to cover everything.
Very well done, though. 3:34 remaining in the first half. Alonzo Mourning shooting the second of his 2 free throws. The high men of the game are Pippen and Jordan with 14. Hawkins leading Charlotte with 10, and Johnson has 9. Chicago by 1. Pippen gets it down to Kukoc. So it's Longley with Kukoc and Pippen up front. Myers and Armstrong in the backcourt. Kukoc off the dribble. Shot clock at 6. Kukoc facing up.
Well, that's not what Phil Jackson had in mind. He wanted to have Tony Kukoc work against Alonzo Mourning, take him out on the floor, face him up, and then drive by. And they don't think Mourning has the lateral movement to stay with Tony Kukoc on the perimeter.
Harris trying that backdoor pass, broken up. Muggsy Bogues back on the floor, hobbled by the thigh injury. His defense, Matt, less effective against a club like the Bulls because you see Michael Jordan make his return for Pete Myers. B.J. Armstrong rarely brings the ball up court. So Muggsy can't be as effective as he normally might, and he is the key to Charlotte's running game, but he's hobbling.
But still, he means so much to this basketball team in so many different ways. But you bring out a good point, Marv. They take a big part of that away when he can't pressure 90 feet.
All right, here comes Pippen. Jordan.
Yes.
16 for Michael. An outstanding first half. He's hit 7 of 11 over the Bulls by 3.
And that's something that a lot of teams do not do to Muggsy Bogues. That was a transition play, however, but he was matched up against Michael Jordan inside.
And let's see what the call is here. It'll be Charlotte ball.
No contest in a fast break situation with Michael Jordan bearing down as we get a look at Scottie Pippen trying to get a hold of the ball and call another one of those timeouts, something he did earlier in the first quarter.
Apparently the ruling was that Pippen had possession, was out of bounds. So Charlotte able to maintain possession. Shot clock is at 8. Bulls with the opening. Hawkins in a crowd got it off and drew the foul. Percy Hawkins has had an effective first half. He was fouled by Armstrong. In this injury-hit season for the Charlotte Hornets, Percy Hawkins, the only Hornet to appear in all 82 games. And he is facing in the first round of the playoffs his hometown team. He was born and raised in Chicago. Percy spent 5 years with the Philadelphia 76ers. This is second season with the Charlotte Hornets. Actually, last year he had trouble adapting to the free-form style.
And a lot of people were surprised at that. Even though he played many years with Charles Barkley in Philadelphia, they used to run a little bit of freelance stuff. Although you're with Charles, he's going to hold the ball most of the time.
Hawkins came up with that steal. Bogues for 3.
That's just number 7 on the year for Muggsy Bogues, his first in the playoffs.
The Hornets lead 50-48. A minute 45 to go in the half. Jordan got the step. Michael Jordan has tied the game at 50. Jordan has 18 points.
And he froze Alonzo Mourning in there, who is a shot-blocking demon, one of the best in the NBA. He never even got his hands up to challenge Jordan's drive.
Bogues with a change of pace. Beat his man, but had nowhere to go. Shot clock at 6. And here's Bugsy. Nice pass. Addison couldn't hit the reverse. The game tied at 50. We come up on a minute to go in the half. Jordan with the step, and he is fouled. Oh, the change of pace dribble by Michael Jordan.
Well, Percy Hawkins getting back a little bit slowly from the free throw situation, but just in time to get the steal. And then Muggsy Bogues, who doesn't do this very often, sets his sights for a three-pointer as Michael Jordan turning the corner on Percy Hawkins and taking it hard to the goal. And Alonzo Mourning did get his hand up, but he was so far underneath the rim that he could not even get his hand in position to make that shot.
And the foul is called on Addison. Well, the one flaw in Michael Jordan's game here today at the foul line, 2 of 5, he has had an outstanding first half. 19 points in all, along with 5 assists and 5 rebounds. The Bulls lead 51-50. This is the finale of our triple header coverage of NBA Celtics knocking off Orlando in Orlando, 99-92. Phoenix went up 2-zip on Portland with a 103-94 win over the Trailblazers. Longley called for the foul. That's 3 on Longley.
Oh, Longley trying to battle Alonzo Mourning inside and get him out of the paint, and in his effort to try to get around in front using his hands too much. And of course these two know each other very well from late last season. Coming down the stretch, the Hornets were making a furious rush to make the playoffs as Mourning and Larry Johnson missed so much time, and then that foolish altercation between Alonzo Mourning and Luke Longley. But part of the growing and maturing process for Alonzo Mourning, says he learned a lot from that incident and learned a lot from his summer experience with Dikembe Mutombo, Patrick Ewing, their trip to South Africa, and he has become a much more mature person and player.
Yes, he has calmed it down in terms of technical fouls and in terms of actions on the court. Longley and Wellington with 3 fouls apiece.
You talk about a foul shot routine that this man goes through. This man made 490 fouls in his regular season, number 3 in the NBA. And part of his success, he has good mechanics, good grip, but he does the same routine every time.
Hornets have a 1-point lead. Folks all over Armstrong. Now Johnson is guarding Jordan. Mourning switches on. Judd Bushler. And he's called for a travel. So the ball back to the Hornets with 36 seconds left in this first half.
Yeah, it's funny, you tell players, don't jump in the air unless you're going to shoot the basketball. Michael Jordan can jump in the air. He's able to hang there that extra second and a half, and find receivers.
Hawkins traveling. Nice fake by Hersey, and then he drags the pivot foot. And Michael Jordan agreeing with that call because Hersey had the snap.
Well, he said, there's no way he could get by me unless he walked with the ball.
Been a hot second quarter for the Bulls. They've hit 10 of 15. They've hit 9 of the last 11. But they're trailing by 1.
Michael Jordan looking over to Phil Jackson for some kind of call. He's going to say, Michael, keep it. Good. You know what to do.
There is a 1-second differential between the game clock and the 24. Pass deflected. Kerr ends up with it and hits. A 3 for Steve Kerr. Final seconds of the half. Here's Bones from Mourning, who fires away. The play by Bushley cut off the angle, cut the vision of Mourning. So at the half, following a frantic second quarter, it's the Bulls with a 53-52 lead. Michael Jordan, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Steve Kerr able to drill it to give Chicago the lead. The Charlotte Hornets led by Hersey Hawkins with 12 points. Now, stay tuned for the Prudential halftime report coming up after these messages. Welcome back to Charlotte. The Bulls with a 54-52 lead on the Charlotte Hornets. Marv Albert with Mr. Basketball, Matt Dukas, and Ahmad Rashad. Let's take a look at the Miller Lite halftime statistics. A tremendous shooting first half for the Chicago Bulls. 20 of 33 for 61%. The Hornets with 13 additional shots. They shot 39%. Michael Jordan, 8 of 12 for 19 points. In the turnover department, the Bulls with 11 and the Hornets with 5.
I think Phil Jackson is concerned the fact that they gave up 10 offensive rebounds. Most of them came early in the first quarter, but that's not enough turnovers for Chicago's defense. They are second in the league in steals. They force 18 turnovers a game. That's how they create their flurries and get out and running, and that's how they're going to be a good basketball team. And right now, Phil has to be very much concerned.
Let's check in with Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad?
All right, Marv, I talked with members of both teams after that halftime break, and for the Charlotte Hornets, Alan Bristow told me that even though Chicago was shooting 60%, he felt they were playing pretty good defense, and Chicago was hitting a lot of tough shots. what they want to do in the second half is get Alonzo Mourning more involved and definitely pound the ball inside. And for Chicago, Matty, you must have given that halftime speech because they're concerned about the same things that you just said, the defensive boards, the turnovers, and they felt like Charlotte had way too many second shots. Mark?
You know, Matt, you really have a feel for this game.
I happen to hear what...
So the Bulls with a 2-point lead. Charlotte in possession as the second half gets underway. That's a rare outside shot for Larry Johnson. Here's Muggsy Bogues. And rebounded by Tony Kukoc. Kukoc with Purdue and Pippen up front, and Jordan and Armstrong at the guard. Alan Bristow with Bogues handling the ball. He has Bogues and Hawkins at the guards. Mourning, Wingate, and Johnson on the front line. Mourning facing the double team. Wingate changed his mind, and it was broken up by Kukoc. Pippen for three. Hit two earlier, and Jordan keeps it alive and pops. Yes. Michael Jordan has had a very impressive ball game. 48 points the other night on the overtime victory. 21 points here today on 9 of 13 shooting, and the Bulls lead 56-52.
Well, we've seen a barrage of jump shots in the early going here in the third quarter, and Alonzo's going to line one up. There's nobody comfortable inside with what they're getting, so they're going to launch from outside.
Alonzo Mourning does have a good touch, but it does become dangerous, as he admitted when he got a little too three-point shooting happy in game number one. Here's Kukoc for three.
Yes.
Tony Kukoc from downtown. Kukoc with 9, and the Bulls have a 5-point lead, 59-54.
Well, every time the ball goes inside to either Larry Johnson or Alonzo Mourning, there will be a double team, and they'll leave Bogues and Wingate open. They're going to have to make jump shots, but so far, Larry Johnson and Mourning are going to take matters into their own hands from outside.
And Alonzo Mourning with 12 points cuts it to a 3-point Chicago lead. Now Jordan around Hawkins, and then lost it. Hawkins off the steal. Wingate with the open shot. And a foul is called. Ron Garrison with the call against the Bulls. It is on Jordan, his second.
Here's Michael Jordan flurrying through the lane there to come off with an offensive rebound. He finds an opening. And then as they just keep whipping the ball around the perimeter, Tony Kukoc, a 31% three-point shooter during the regular season, shot that one with confidence.
Johnson. Johnson able to slip his way in. 11 for Johnson. The Bulls lead by 1. 2.5 gone by in the third quarter. Jordan. He's been hitting the jump shot today. Not that time. Bogues for Hawkins. Hawkins. And he was fouled. So Hersey Hawkins getting inside will go to the line.
Well, Hersey has come out very aggressively throughout this ballgame, looking to be more of a scorer, looking to make Michael Jordan work. And it has paid off, as this turnaround jump shot by Michael Jordan can't get it. And Will Purdue, who has had his problems so far in this ballgame, Will only playing about 10 minutes, but every time he runs into 5'3" Muggsy Bogues, Bogues is getting the best of him as far as picking off rebounds or steals.
Hersey Hawkins, an 87% free throw shooter, not hitting on that first attempt. Charlotte now 12 of 14 at the line. Here's the breakdown on Michael Jordan. We mentioned 9 field goals, now 9 of 14. 7 have been jump shots. He's hit 1 slam. That was that gorgeous move to the hoop, and he scored on a layup. So he has been hitting the outside shot. Pippen, yes. Scottie Pippen has also been hitting the outside shot. 16 for Pippen. The Bulls, 61. The Hornets, 59. Bulls looking for the cutting Hawkins. David Wingate. Wingate is now 1 for 5. He's had a number of open shots. Open shot for Armstrong. B.J. Armstrong with 6 points, and that was the 6th assist for Michael Jordan.
Off good penetration in the transition, made the Charlotte defense collapse and get all packed inside there, and then those quick 2 passes. And it's so much easier to shoot the ball when you get into a rhythm like that instead of having just stand and the whole offense just watching it.
And earlier we were talking about the success the Hornets have had here at home, but the alley-oop from Mourning, able to field it, put it away. 3-point Chicago lead. After winning 13 straight here at home during the middle of the season, the Hornets then won only 6 of their last 11 at the Coliseum. So things went the other way in the final weeks. Wingate is called for the foul, and that dates back to mid-March when they blew a 19-point lead to the Washington Bullets.
Well, lots of problems there. Then Muggsy Bogues got hurt, and Del Curry was out for 10 games during that time period. And Del Curry, such an important part of their offense, coming off the bench, giving them about 13, 14 points a ball game, and spreading the defense. Michael Jordan has called Tony Kukoc his project, so every opportunity he gets, he wants to make him aware of what's going on offensively and, most importantly, defensively.
Robert Parrish has checked in, replacing David Wingate. Kukoc has got to a big club now with both Mourning and Parrish on the floor. Jordan around Hawkins. Jordan to the left hand, rebounded by Mourning. 3-on-1. Johnson from Bogues. And handled by Purdue. Bulls with the ball, leading by 3. Pippen for 3. And back come the Hornets. Mourning for Johnson. Spinning. Firing him. Larry Johnson making the running hook. And the Hornets are within 1.
Terrific adjustment by Alonzo Mourning. I thought Muggsy gave him the ball too soon, but Alonzo handled it well and made the next pass to Larry Johnson.
Now Pippen played on a switch by Hawkins. Johnson tried to cheat over to help. Pippen. The tip was missed by Kukoc, and a loose ball foul on Purdue.
Alonzo Mourning running the middle on the break. Muggsy gives it up, and that's a tough place to give a 6'11" player. Larry Johnson gets the field goal, but you still see Larry just cannot explode. A couple of years ago, he would be able to dunk this ball. Now he has to flip him up there.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Jeep, makers of Grand Cherokee, and Wrangler. By McDonald's, the official break of the NBA. Have you had your break today? And by Reebok. Come see how the game is played on Planet Reebok.
Welcome back to Charlotte, where the Hornets are trying to even up this best-of-5 series at 1-1. Bulls trying to go up 2-zip game 3 in Chicago Tuesday night. If there is a game 4, it'll take place Thursday in Chicago, and then if there's a game 5 back here in Charlotte on Sunday in this best-of-5 series. One other NBA playoff game tonight, Dikembe Mutombo and his Denver Nuggets, David Robinson and the San Antonio Spurs. That's tonight at 9 Eastern time, and will be seen on TNT. That is later on tonight. 6:45 remaining in the third quarter, and the Bulls lead 64-63. Parrish being played by Kukoc. Johnson for 3. Larry Johnson has added the shot from downtown to his repertoire. That is his first today. He has 16, and the Hornets now lead by 2. It's been a strong game for Larry Johnson. Kukoc off the dribble against Parrish. Kukoc. Rebounded by Hawkins.
Well, interesting, the play before that the Hornets felt they had a mismatch with Parrish inside on Kukoc, and at that end, the Bulls clear out for Kukoc, who has a mismatch against Robert Parrish, or at least facing him and driving to the basket.
Crowd reacting. They thought there should have been a foul called on Purdue making contact with Mourning. Here's Hawkins. Percy Hawkins with 15. Hornets 68. The Bulls 64. Chicago has missed its last 5 shots. Kukoc rejected by Parrish. Kukoc looks for the goal tag. Here's 7-0 run by the Hornets, who have taken a 6-point lead.
Well, the inside feed to Parrish, quickly outside to Larry Johnson, who made 81 three-pointers during the regular season, feeling much more comfortable here. Hersey almost gets stripped, but gets a step on Michael Jordan. He has been an effective offensive player for Charlotte. And then Robert Parrish paying dividends for the Hornets. Turns away Tony Kukoc here for another fast break opportunity for the Hornets, as Muggsy does a beautiful job of spinning on Armstrong to give the Hornets a 6-point lead.
Well, coming up here on NBC, following the Bulls and the Hornets, and then following Sequest, it'll be Fred Dreyer returning to NBC as Hunter in a 2-hour world premiere movie. Nice to see Fred back on the network. Hunter used to be a successful regular series on Saturday nights. Fred, a pretty fair defensive end in his days with the Giants and the Rams. Fred Dreyer returning to NBC as Hunter tonight after Sequest. And here is Purdue going way off the mark. Bulls struggling here in the third. They missed their last 6 shots. They're 4 of 14 from the field, while the Hornets have hit their last 5. Pippen with the steal. Armstrong, Austin Hawkins with the easily from behind.
And Scottie Pippen furious with the referee, as Bogues, after he was beaten by Pippen, just held on to Scottie Pippen and right in front of the official, and no call.
And a loose ball foul against the Hornets. Foul on Mourning. That is his second. 4:40 remaining. In this third quarter, the Hornets with a 70-64 lead.
And the Hornets have whipped the Bulls in the fast break department, outscoring them 16-2. And even when the Bulls get the opportunity, they're unable to even get a good shot at the basket.
Pippen trapped, picked up on the double team. Jordan. And back comes Bulls. Bulls have missed their last 8 shots. We come up on 4 minutes to go in the third. Mourning guarded by Kukoc. And a travel is called.
And Pippen gets the steal and starts the fast break with B.J. Armstrong able to flip it there to start it. But Bogues not only pushes Scottie Pippen out of bounds, but holds on to keep him from getting back into the play. I think the official felt it was a fast break. He didn't want to stop the play, but then on the turnover, and they wanted it.
Well, Jordan got the step, but it was blocked by Mourning. Will Purdue able to hang in, and he'll go to the line.
Well, the Bulls have been tentative offensively, settling for jump shots. Michael Jordan, realizing that, decides to take it to the goal, but Robert Parrish has been a force inside, along with Alonzo Mourning, in blocking some shots. Alonzo had 7 in the first game as they are patrolling inside, and it has forced the Bulls to stay on the perimeter. But for Chicago to get themselves going, they're going to have to make something happen at the defensive end. They've been playing too soft, not enough pressure on the ball.
Foul by Parrish, putting Purdue at the line. He's only a 58% free throw shooter. 70-65 Hornets. And a foul on Armstrong. 14 fouls against the Bulls.
It's B.J. Armstrong, who almost never complains, trying to put some pressure now on Muggsy Bogues, which is next to impossible, saying, hey, it's not a hand check. He didn't put the hand out. He had his arm close to him, made body contact, but felt it should not have been called a hand check.
Double team on Mourning. Double up on Parrish. Oh! Down pass thrown by Bogues. Charlotte in the midst of an 11-1 run. They lead by 5. The Bulls only 4 of 17 from the field in the third after the hot shooting second. Michael Jordan slicing his way, and he drew the foul. That's the 4th team foul on the Hornets. Larry Johnson picks it up.
Well, one of the things the Bulls can do with their triangle offense is spread out, start it much further out on the floor, some 24, 25 feet, And when they do that, that will afford some driving opportunities. It looked like it was going to be a screen roll situation for Michael. He didn't take the screen, just a quick little crossover and drive to the basket. That's the right idea right now for Chicago because they are stagnant.
With only 2 points in this third quarter, 1 out of 5 after the good first half. And B.J. Armstrong able to hit for Chicago. They had missed 10 straight shots. 70-67 Hornets. So Del Curry is back, teaming with Muggsy Bogues in the backcourt. Curry being guarded by Jordan. Now Jordan on a switch is guarding Johnson down low. Here's Johnson spinning and hitting. Larry Johnson, 8 of 13, 18 points. And it looks like a technical foul has been called. Phil Jackson a little active on the bench. And apparently had something to say to the official, Ed Rush.
Well, during that last timeout coming out, Phil Jackson and some of the Bulls players were really giving it to the referees, not Eddie Rush. And then on this hard spin move by Larry Johnson, in which he got to the basket, Phil Jackson felt it was a traveling violation as Jordan goes for the steal, doesn't get. And maybe he was right. A little shuffle of the feet should have been a walking call on Larry Johnson, but made it so quickly and with such power, I don't think the official saw it. Phil doing a little pirouette to show exactly just how he picked him up and laid him down.
Scottie Pippen for 3. And Alonzo Mourning with the rebound. It has been all Charlotte here in the third. They lead by 6. Curry on a quick release. Pippen. Jordan to the reverse.
It looked like Michael had nowhere to go on a good defensive help by Robert Parrish, but he improvised.
Hornets 73 and the Bulls 69. Just under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Johnson surrounded. And the rebound handled by Weddington. And a whistle in the backcourt. Larry Johnson trailing the play was called on the foul.
Pippen had ideas of attacking the rim, got stopped, finds Michael Jordan, who starts to go up in the air. He sees the long, outstretched arms of Robert Parrish, and only Michael Jordan maybe has that ability to hang just that long, able to control and take it to the other side and use the glass. And Michael saying no foul. He thought Robert Parrish got a piece, and I think that technical by Phil Jackson was part a spontaneous reaction on the walk, but I also think he's trying to get his team going a little bit right now. He knows they're going to have to do something defensively to get some of these flurries, and just trying to change the tempo and create a little excitement.
And on the subject of defensively, Pete Myers, who does add in that department, will check in this, though, to give Michael Jordan a rest. 23 for Jordan, but only 4 here in the third quarter. Aaron Hancock, who had some good moments in the first half, back on the floor for Charlotte. Hancock, the second-round draft pick, a rookie out of Kansas. Hornets lead 73-71. Minute 35 left in the third quarter. Bogues. Hancock. Hancock got fouled up. Mourning. Foul. Alonzo was held by Will Perdue.
Well, the Bulls are picking it up defensively, denying passing lanes, overplaying, trying to take charges there as Scottie Pippen getting there late, as the bench of Chicago starting to get into it and appreciating the effort that the Bulls are putting forth defensively right now. This is the first flurry in some time, and then the grab and hold on Alonzo Mourning as he tried to get up to the basket. But Alonzo Mourning, a terrific free throw shooter.
And he is 6 for 6 here today. So the Hornets lead 74-71. Game 1 here on Friday night, 1 in overtime by the Bulls. Michael Jordan playing 47 minutes at 48 points. Mourning with a 32-point, 13 rebound game, along with 7 blocked shots. And Mourning has come on in the third quarter after the quiet first half. 16 for Mourning, and the Hornets lead 75-71. 1:15 to go in the third. being played by Hancock. Armstrong with Bogues right in his chest. Look out, Hancock over-aggressive, and Pippen is shaken up.
And Scotty he's wincing. I don't know if he got hit in the eye or face area as Hancock trying to break into the passing lane there for the steal, and Scottie Pippen making sure he caught the ball there, and a hit in the face and then a sort of a forearm to the jaw area as Scottie Pippen shaken up.
Darren Hancock, guy who plays with a lot of energy and emotion. Last year, he spent a good portion of the season playing abroad in France. He was a second-round draft pick a year ago and was in the starting lineup after Scott Burrell, a very important player on this Hornets squad, went down. Hancock started 7 games. See, since Burrell's injury, last 13 games of the season, he averaged 17 minutes a game. Did a good job, although David Wingate has been the starter in this series. Hornets 75 of the Bulls, 73. Michael Adams is back to provide a rest for Muggsy Bogues. Final minute of the third quarter. Steve Kerr has come on, and he is guarding Adams. They double up on Mourning. Hancock for Perry. And the foul.
Darren Hancock on the flash into the lane, had everything all lined up here as he receives from Mourning. Knew he was in trouble, but knew he had to cheat somewhere around the basket, and the no-look over the ear pass, a beauty.
41-year-old Robert Parrish not able to complete the three-point play. Mourning, though, with the rebound. Parrish, and a foul call against the Hornets. A loose ball foul. Charlotte is over the limit, so the Bulls will go to the line. Mourning picks it up. It's his third.
One of the reasons why Phil Jackson has Bill Wennington and Will Perdue on the floor is to take up some space and block out and do a job on the boards. And on the missed free throw, they don't get the job done as Robert Parrish and Alonzo Mourning keeping the ball alive.
So Will Perdue to the line with 44 seconds to go in the third. 3 for 5 at the line. Will still wearing that protective face guard because of a broken nose suffered earlier in the season. It's 1 of 2, and the Hornets now lead 77 to 74. Michael Adams handling against Steve Kerr. Down to 35 seconds in the third. Defensive sequence by Chicago. Parrish hits a patented fadeaway shot. Robert Parrish with 4 points. Hornets lead by 5. Now 15 seconds to go in the third, and they're on their feet here in the high. Wellington. Final seconds of the third quarter. Curry's pass broken up. And that's the end of the third. It's the Hornets 79. The Bulls 74. See Hancock come away hobbling, trying to work it off. We'll be back after a word from your local station.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
Welcome back to the Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina. Marv Albert with Matt Gukas and Ahmad Rashad. The Hornets outscored the Bulls 27-20 in the third quarter. Chicago only 6 of 21 from the field in the third after the hot shooting second when they converted 11 of 16. Alonzo Mourning with an enormous third quarter, 8 points and 6 rebounds. Myers, as this fourth quarter gets underway, met by Kurt. Crowd wanted to travel on Myers. Michael Jordan sitting it out, getting a rest. Here's Kerr with a rare shot going to the hoop.
And a big reason for that good defense in the third quarter and the first play to start the fourth. Robert Parrish just doing an outstanding job patrolling the lane, sensing every opportunity that the Bulls have to score, and he's stepping up.
And this is Charlotte team that has turned it around defensively. Mourning is rejected. Alonzo Mourning turned back. Pippen able to save that pass. And Mourning gets to it. I would think the presence of Johnny Bond added to the Charlotte staff after his departure from Chicago has contributed to the Hornets' defensive improvement, although they have changed their tempo from the last couple of years.
And Johnny candidly admits that, but that's part of it. And they're playing more a style that's going to be successful in the playoffs. They want to run when they can. Other than that, run set offense, so they have good court balance, so they get back on defense and stop fast breaks.
Weddington was stopped. And we get a whistle, a foul called on Charlotte. A moment ago, we saw Darren Hancock, who's played well, limp off right at the end of the third quarter. For more on that, let's go to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, Darren Hancock apparently banged his knee on Scottie Pippen when they had that collision late in the third quarter. Pippen bruised his left hip, but obviously they're both all right. Pippen's still playing. Marv?
Ahmad and Bill Weddington hitting that side jump, his second field goal. It brings the Bulls within 3 points with 1:45 gone by in the fourth quarter. Charlotte hoping to even the series at 1. Chicago looking to jump in front 2-0. Mourning from downtown. Alonzo Mourning with his first three-pointer of the game.
And as Alonzo ran back on defense, he looked over to Alan Bristow. Alan Bristow put the hands up. Now it's easy now with the threes. Not too many.
Longley. With the rebound. Adams and Curry in the backcourt. Mourning, Wingate, and Parrish up front. Hornets staying with the Twin Tower approach with Parrish and Mourning. Longley nearly picked it off. Parrish off the recovery. Robert Parrish playing a major role. He's at 3 of 4 and 6 points.
We'll see George soon, but I'm surprised, Mark, that Tony Kukoc has spent this amount of time on the bench. He could be an effective player right now because both Weddington and Luke Longley, other than Luke Weddington's giving them some offense, but those two are not getting the job done.
Hornets with an 84-76 lead. Adams. Oh, Adams surprised Longley. Biggest lead of the game for Charlotte. The Bulls calling for tie.
Alonzo Mourning, who made his first 3 three-pointers the other night and then missed 3 in a row and then started thinking about it that he probably shouldn't be doing it. He probably had some thoughts there, happy to drain that one. But when he looked over to Alan Bristow said, take your time with the threes. And then Michael Adams using that rim as a shield to get the little reverse up against the 7-footer Luke Longley.
3 minutes in. Fourth quarter, the Charlotte Hornets celebrate. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Miller Genuine Draft presents Genuine Moments.
And today we go back 2 years. Celtics and Hornets meeting in the first round of the playoffs. Game 4, Charlotte down by 1. And Alonzo Mourning with the most memorable shot in Hornets history. They defeat Celtics to advance to the second round. It marked the first time one of the recent expansion franchises made it to round 2 of the playoffs. In recognition of this moment, Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. The Hornets have opened up a 10-point lead thanks to the all-around play of Alonzo Mourning, who has come on very strong in the second half. Michael Jordan has returned, not able to hit on his first attempt. 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, and the Chicago shooting, so efficient in the first half, has dropped off. They have struggled in the second half, shooting only 26% in the second half. Jordan trying to break it up. Johnson gets it back out. Shot clock at 2. Curry for 3. He has hit 3 straight from downtown, and the Hornets lead 89-76.
And you tell your team, never leave Del Curry alone. Even if you're scrambling, double teaming, make sure you rotate to him first.
Jordan for three. Last touch by the Hornets.
Well, anytime Del Curry is always going to find that three-point line. And when he does, it does not take long for him to let it go, as Pete Myers got caught trying to shade towards the lane, giving Curry way too much room.
During the regular season, hit a franchise high 153 three-pointers, and a hand check called on Johnson, his fourth. Here's Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad?
All right, Marv, doing it last time out, the Charlotte Hornets bench, they wanted to continue to pound the ball inside, and when the Chicago defense collapsed in, kick it out to players like Curry. They want to be as disruptive as possible defensively, and they told me they want to try to tire Michael Jordan out by running him off as many screens as possible. Marv?
Well, Michael Jordan has not been able to do it offensively in the second half after the sparkling first half. And here in the fourth quarter, the Hornets have outscored the Bulls 10-2. We have 7:20 remaining in the fourth. Curry. Yes. Del Curry, 4 of 8 from the field. The Hornets with a 91-76 lead on the Bulls.
Once Del Curry gets it going, he is so difficult, and Pete Myers is really working hard. That time just getting caught off balance, just giving him a little bit of a look, enough for Del Curry.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by the 1995 Toyota 4Runner. It's where civilization is headed. By ITT, for 75 years, the one to follow. And by Ice Brewed Ice House. Ice brewed, so there's never any watered-down taste.
Welcome back to the Hive. This crowd is pumped. The Hornets are pumped. They've hit their last 5 shots. A long huddle by the Chicago Bulls. They have a lot to talk about, Matt.
It's almost like they don't want to come out right now that Del Curry has the hot hand. And the most important thing for Charlotte is that the Chicago defense is standing around. The ball's not moving. There's no cutters. There's no anybody trying to take people off the dribble. And consequently, they're getting poor percentage jump shots.
7 of 29 shooting for the Bulls in the second half. And a foul is called. Off the pump fake, Del Curry picks up his third. Michael Jordan in the second half only 2 of 8 from the field. Scottie Pippen only 1 of 6. On shooting foul, second team foul on the Hornets. Pippen posting up on the 7-footer Parrish. And another rebound for Mourning. Alonzo Mourning with 14 rebounds, 11 of the 14 of the second half.
Phil Jackson tried to match the big front line of Charlotte with big people. That didn't work. Then he came back with Kukoc and Jordan. That has not worked. And now Phil has really gone small.
Shot clock is down to 3. Michael Adams looking for the opening. And the rebound handled by Longley. Armstrong to the reverse. Nice move as Mourning went out on him. He drove by him and converted with the reverse.
Well, you have to respect BJ's ability to shoot the three-pointer. He's one of the best percentage three-point shooters in basketball, but he got Alonzo Mourning leading and then did the right thing. Put it on the floor and drove it to the goal.
Hornets by 13. Mourning off the dribble. Draws the foul.
The Bulls getting one of their rare fast break opportunities, and the spot up for Jordan, and that got Alonzo Mourning leaning, and BJ did the rest by taking it to the other side of the rim for the little reverse hook. And at the other end, once again, Alonzo Mourning, when he catches that ball at the top of the key, he is going to go to his right hand about 98 times out of 100, and that's the second time Luke Longley has gotten beaten on that play.
A hand for the combination of Robert Parrish and Michael Adams. Look at head coach Alan Bristow, who has been under fire the last couple of years, and Hornets owner George Schmidt said the other day that Alan Bristow's job is not on the line in this playoff series against the Bulls. He said he'd never put that kind of pressure on anyone. There had been speculation that despite the 51 regular season, Bristow's status could be in jeopardy if the Hornets made an inroad in the playoffs. And that speculation has been quieted by the owner, George Shedd. Foul is called. Wingate called for a trip.
Well, David Wingate trying to get up and put pressure on Michael Jordan, which is a tough deal under any circumstances there. This was totally inadvertent, unintentional on the part of David. I don't think Michael was trying to draw a foul there. Michael a little bit out of sorts today. Looks disconcerted, upset with a lot of things that are going out on the floor. I think he's unhappy with the execution at both ends of the floor, and he has shown it in his expression.
Yes, he has been upset with his teammates. He's tried to keep it in check, but you can read it. We saw that in the first half. And Jordan fires away. Hits the three.
And for the most part, they have put the triangle offense in mothballs, at least temporarily. In certain situations, they'll run it. They're going to spread the floor and see if Michael can't turn it on and make something happen.
93-81. Charlotte, 5.5 to go in the fourth. And a foul call. Larry Johnson with the drive. Took the hit from Jordan. That's his third. And he hears it from the crowd. Next Sunday, for the first time on television, NBC will present the biggest movie of them all, Jurassic Park. That's next Sunday after an NBA playoff tripleheader starting at 8, 7 Central. Jurassic Park right here on NBC. And we have brought the music along, Matt, as you may have noticed.
I thought I heard that.
We carry that type of material with us at all times.
I think Michael Jordan tired of seeing Larry Johnson make these physical moves in the paint, taking the ball strong to the basket, not necessarily finishing with strong shots. And Michael took a very hard foul on Larry Johnson, letting him know he's around.
Hornets by 13. Jordan around Johnson. Rejects it. And an offensive foul is called on Jordan.
Well, Jordan matched up against Larry Johnson. He knows he can take him off the dribble, but a terrific job by David Wingate stepping in and giving up the body to take the charge on Michael Jordan, and no complaint at all from Michael. He knew he was beaten by Wingate.
Number 4 on Jordan. Pippen gambling. Trying to help out on Bowles. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Johnson played by Pippen. Morning from deep. That was 2-point range. And here comes Armstrong. Oh, Wingate from behind slapped it away. But a good play by David Wingate, although Chicago maintains possession, and Wingate hears the approval.
Well, Alan Bristow has to be extremely happy with the play that he has gotten from his bench. Robert Parrish, Michael Adams, Darren Hancock. David Wingate is a starter, but doesn't really play starter minutes, but he's giving them a lift during this 2 or 3 minute stretch.
Jordan to the fadeaway. The tip missed by Longley. And Bowles in no hurry, moving it across, checking with Alan Bristow on the sideline. Bowles looking for Johnson. Instead, it went to Wingate. Rebound Morning. And could not hold on. So Chicago will get it back. Game 3 of this best of 5 will take place Tuesday night at the United Center in Chicago. Jordan for 3. Yes. The Hornets now lead 94-84 as we come up on 4 minutes remaining in the fourth.
Michael Jordan told us before the game he did not want to have to play this way. He wanted to get his teammates involved, but he senses that nothing good is happening for his team. He's going to try to put it all on his shoulders down the stretch.
Foul on Armstrong, having some words with Curry.
As Michael Jordan is looking to take three-pointers, looking to drive, looking to get anything going at all for the Chicago Bull offense.
Timeout is taken. You're watching the NBA on NBC. And a reminder. reminder, following Sequest, Brett Dreyer returning to the NBC network as Hunter in a 2-hour world premiere movie. That is all coming up following the Hornets and the Bulls. And a foul is called. Curry drawing the double team and hit by Pippen. That's 4 on Scottie Pippen. Timeouts remaining. Chicago with 2 and a 20. Charlotte with 3 and a 20. The Hornets with 3 team fouls. The Bulls with 4 team fouls.
With a minute 43 to go in the third quarter, Michael Jordan went out for his customary breather. The Bulls were only down 3 when he came back into the ballgame with about 9 minutes to go in the fourth, and they were down 10.
Jordan has 29 points on 12 of 23 from the field. Johnson is fouled. Larry Johnson taking it to the hoop. Took the hit from Jordan, and that is number 5 on Michael Jordan.
The Chicago Bulls felt very fortunate to win Game 1, especially with Scottie Pippen spending so much time on the bench in foul trouble. Michael Jordan had to come up with a lot of heroics in that overtime. The Hornets missed a lot of open shots down the stretch. So the Bulls felt lucky. The Charlotte Hornets felt that they got robbed, so to speak. But so far, Barb, I do not see the swagger in the faces of and the body language of the Chicago Bulls that is necessary for them to be a good basketball team.
Hornets lead by 12. Jordan firing the 3. So Michael Jordan now going to downtown. He's hit his last 2. He has 32 points. Allowing the Bulls to hang around. Down now 96-87. Hornets at 1 point, led by 15. Armstrong with the steal. Armstrong going all the way. Was that a block? Yes, it was. Clean block with Curry and Hawkins getting back.
The Bulls starting to make things happen with their defense, getting some opportunities now as B.J. Armstrong ahead of the pack. But both Hersey Hawkins and Del Curry do not give up on the play. Chase him down and knock it out.
Looked like Hawkins got it, his second block of the game. 11-5 run by the Bulls, who are now down by 9 with 3 minutes and 5 seconds remaining on the fourth. And here's Jordan for 3. Coverage of the Bulls and the Hornets sequence, and then the return of Hunter right here on NBC. Larry Johnson. Johnson getting inside. Rebound Mourning. Alonzo Mourning, 23 points. Along with 17 rebounds, and that an enormous bucket. The Hornets lead by 11. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
The 1995 NBA playoffs on NBC.
For a team that has been poor all year long, dead last in offensive rebounding, the Charlotte Hornets have really come alive in these first 2 games of this playoff series as Alonzo Mourning having another outstanding ball game. 23 points, just 6 for 15 from the field, but doing it in other areas.
Matt, would you say even with the 5:30 p.m. start here in Charlotte, this will be considered as a morning game?
Oh, yes, definitely, since you said that.
Armstrong able to hit. And the Hornets now lead 98-89 with 2:20 to go in this fourth quarter. Hornets trying to tie the series and Warren Kerr on the foul. And the Bulls with their 5th team foul, so Bogues to the line.
A thankless task, especially for Steve Kerr, who does not have the quickest feet in the world, trying to put pressure in the backcourt on Muggsy Bogues. We saw it earlier in the ballgame. B.J. Armstrong just rushing up against Muggsy. He's an outstanding ball handler, is Muggsy, and so low to the ground, so difficult to do anything with as far as pressing or trapping. So that's something that the Charlotte Hornets do not have to worry about. Hey, really, you have to take your hat off to Larry Johnson coming down the stretch here. He's taken the challenge to defend Michael Jordan one-on-one, and Michael's trying to take it to him. And there should be a mismatch there because Michael has the quickness, but Scottie Pippen has the advantage right now against Hersey Hawkins.
Quiet second half for Pippen after the good start. He has 18. Jordan leads the Bulls with 32 points. And handled by Pippen. By score for Charlotte. Morning with 23. Three-point attempt by Pippen. And another rebound for Morning, number 18 for Alonzo. Larry Johnson with 21 points. Percy Hawkins with a strong game, 15 points. Hornets lead 100-89. A minute 40 to go in this fourth quarter. Johnson with the good look. Muggsy Bogues with 13 points along with 7 assists. Hornets by 13. Johnson with the steal. Chased by Jordan. Johnson all the way. And rebounded by Pippen. Oh, Larry Johnson, you know, wanted to do it on both ends against Michael Jordan. Armstrong way off.
Right at the top of the backboard, which is in play, but everybody stood around and looked. B.J. Armstrong, an outstanding shooter. Nobody could believe that shot was that far off.
Alonzo Mourning with 19 rebounds. That is a season high for Alonzo. Here's Bogues. Curry for three. Johnson is fouled. So Larry Johnson will go to the line.
Well, Muggsy Bogues is ecstatic right now. He felt the weight of the world in his shoulders by missing that shot at the end of regulation. He went up to the owner, George Shinn, after the game and said, "My fault, boss. It was in my hands. I should have won the ball game." And George Shinn put his arms around and said, "Hey, we would have never been that close without you." And he's got to feel great. Alan Bristow and his staff have to feel good. Coming back from such a disappointing loss the other night to tie this series up. And Phil Jackson, his staff, and his team are going to look at this tape and see what they have to do to improve their defensive rebounding.
Now to 45 seconds remaining, fourth quarter. 104-89 Charlotte. Pippen fires the three. Mourning with rebound number 20. So the series will shift to the United Center in Chicago for Game 3 on Tuesday, all tied at 1. Down to 15 seconds. 5 of the shot clock. Here's Larry Johnson. Oh, they're loving it here in Charlotte. 106-89. And that is the final score. So the series is tied at 1. Alonzo Mourning with a sensational game to lead the Hornets. We'll be back in Charlotte in a moment. The Chicago Bulls only 12 of 42, 28% shooting of the second half. Michael Jordan with 32. Alonzo Mourning, 23 points, 20 rebounds as the Hornets even the series at 1. So long from Charlotte, North Carolina.